Good morning, class. Today I will take your revision class. Now in revision I will take your chapter 3. The name of chapter 3 is ecosystem. Now what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is the community of living organism with non-living organism in a specific area where the non-living organism, living organism interact with non-living organisms. Now, how they interact? Like plants. We all know that plant for their food production they need water and air and temperature, and these are the water, air and temperature. These are the non-living things, and plant is a living things. In this way they interact with each other, and without these things plants are not able to make their food, and so there is no life of plant occurs in this world. So in this way they are living with their communication, with their coordination with each other, and this is called ecosystem. The examples of ecosystem is the desert, lakes, forest. These are some examples of ecosystem. We will discussing in ecosystem that there are two things, living things and non-living things, and on this basis our ecosystem is made up of two components, biotic and abiotic components. Biotic components means it is a group of living beings in which living beings are surviving, and that is called the biotic factor. And abiotic factor means non-living things like air, water, temperature, soil. These are the non-living things, and they are called abiotic factors or abiotic component. Now let's study about the biotic component. There are two groups of on the basis of nutrition, mode of nutrition. Biotic components are divided into two groups, producers and consumer. Producer means the living beings which produces food, and consumer which the organisms which consume that food which are made by the producer. In this way they are categorized into two groups, producer and consumer, on the basis of mode of their nutrition. Now producer is the all green world found on this earth, means green plants, and some green bacteria and phytoplankton are found in the aquatic region. These are the producers. They are having chlorophyll so that they are green in color, and because of the presence of green chlorophyll they are able to make the food. Hence they are called autotrophs. They linked non-living living things with the living non-living things, and they are the first organism of the food chain. Our food chain starts with the producers. In this way, all the green plants are the producers, because they make their food by themselves, and hence they are called autotrophs. Auto means self, and trophs means feeding. Self-feeding. They are able to make food by themselves, so that they are called producers. Now consumer. On the basis of taking types of nutrition, they are again categorized into four groups: primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer and quaternary consumer. Now primary consumer. Primary consumers are also called herbivores because they eat only green plants, so that they are called primary consumer or herbivores. Omnivores are also comes into this category when they eat only plants. We all know that omnivores eat both plants and meat, so that protein comes into the primary consumer group, and so that they are also called herbivores in that condition. Now second is the secondary consumer. All the carnivores, the animals which eat meat, they are called carnivores, and all the animals which eat meat, they are called secondary consumer. And omnivores are also comes into this category, because when omnivores eat meat, they are called secondary consumer, like dog. These are any human beings. They are secondary. They comes into the secondary consumer omnivores. And the example of secondary consumer is tiger, lion, cow. Sorry, cow is not here. Tiger and lion are the good example of secondary consumer. Now tertiary consumer. Tertiary consumer which eat, the organisms which eat secondary consumer, they are called tertiary consumer. And for example, snake, eagle, these are the some tertiary consumer. Now quaternary consumer. The animals or organisms which eat tertiary or dead and decaying plants and animals, they are comes into the quaternary consumer. For example, scavengers. The example of scavengers are hyena, vulture. These are the example of, vulture is not the example of scavengers. Hyena is the example of jackal, and hyena are the example of scavengers. They eat dead and decaying parts of the plant and animals. Now last is the decomposers. Decomposers are also called cleaning organisms, cleaning environment or organisms of the earth. They break down the complex, dead and decaying complex body into the smaller and simpler nutrient. And these bodies then mix up with the soil, and hence the cycle maintains, so that they are able to maintaining the cycle of elements, of minerals. In this way, they are very beneficial for cleaning the environment, for cycling the nutrient. This is all about the biotic factor. Now we will study about the abiotic factor. Now abiotic component, non-living, all the non-living factors comes into this category, like sun, temperature, water, air and soil, and all these things are necessary for the survival of biotic factor. So that in this way both are coordinating with each other for the life, for existing life on this earth. Now sun, we all know that sun is a good source of energy on this earth, and without sun there is no life occurs. Plant, the green pigment found in plant, that is chlorophyll, it traps the solar energy, and so that they are able to making their food. In this way sun plays very important role in making the food. So it is in this way it is important for the survival of life on this earth. Now second is the temperature. Temperature is most of the animals are living in hot temperature, and most of are not living in cold region. So in this way, variation in temperature is also is necessary, and it is found on this earth. And in this way, it is also necessary for the survival of life on this earth. Now water. How water is necessary for us, we all know. Without water, plants are not able to making their food. So they are very important for making the food, and also they are very important for the human body and all the animals which are living on this earth. We all know that 95% of our body weight is of water. So how much it is important, we all know. In this way, water play a very important role for survival of life on this earth. Now air. Air is the mixture of gas, mixture of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and all the different gases are also present in air. But carbon dioxide and oxygen is very important for us, because carbon dioxide is trapped by the plants. Plants need carbon dioxide for making the food, and we need oxygen for breathing process. In this way, air is very important for us. Now soil. Most of the organisms are living in the soil, and without soil there is no plantation or vegetation occurs in this world. So soil is also a very important factor of the abiotic component. In this way we come to know that how these things are very important for the survival of life on this earth, and how they are important for the biotic component. In this way I will concluding this chapter. This topic we will continue with next topic in next class. Till then, thank you.